Welcome back. Have you ever had a good idea or dream that just sat on a shelf? What's holding you back? Motivational expert Ian Horton has some ideas on what's holding you back and what you need to do to move forward. Ian, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
You're very
All right,
welcome.
so I need to ask you, what stops people from doing what they really want to do in life?
Well, you know, usually there are kind of two driving forces in our life. There's pain and pleasure. And we do everything that we can do to avoid pain and everything that we can do to avoid pleasure. The problem is, it's the pain that usually suppresses us down to stop us from moving forward. But there's actually a little trick that we can use to actually use the pain as a positive side to drive us forward to what we do. Right. And the way we do that very simply is this. You know, think about, let's choose an example of, let's say we want to stop smoking, right? And you could use this in, I want to be successful, I want to do this in business, it doesn't matter. The actual process itself works no matter what it is. So what you do is you stack the pain so it becomes so painful for you to not do it that it forces you to take action. So let me give you an example.
Stack? Okay,
you
give
stack.
an example.
So what you do is this. Let's say you want to stop smoking. So you say, well, what are all the bad things associated with smoking? Well, your health deteriorates. Maybe your family starts to alienate you.
You smell.
You smell. You know, you've got children, which potentially, right, it costs money, and you've got children, and potentially you may not see them as they're growing up. You may have passed away because of smoking cigarettes. So the moment you start to stack, and the more that they compound upon each other, that is when the driving force inside of you becomes greater than the pain for actually stopping.
Okay.
So it's all about the stacking. And if you get to a point where you've stacked and it's still not enough, you need to keep stacking.
So the pain of my tight pants will make me stop eating muffins.
Sure.
Kidding. Okay, so you mentioned before about the driving forces in life. How do you use them for your own benefit?
Well, okay, well, the pain is really what you need to be looking at. You really need to look at how we stack these things and how we can really make them work in our favor. So it's all going back to that stacking process and the pain and the pleasure. What is the pleasurable side of losing weight? Well, the pleasurable side is we can put better clothes on, we feel better about ourselves. What is the pain of not losing weight? Well, maybe our health isn't right, maybe our fitness isn't right. So again, it all relates back to that stacking the pain and the pleasure and making sure that you've got enough behind you, enough of a driving force, enough of a kick up the backside to make you want to take the action. And that's what it's all about. It's finding that inside of you that says enough is enough. And the truth of the matter is, change only comes when you hit never again.
Okay.
So when you say to yourself, you know what, never again will I allow that to happen again. Never again will I allow myself to eat that extra donut or smoke that extra cigarette. Once you hit never again, that is where change takes place.
What about fear, though? Doesn't that take a part, and doesn't that stop people from taking that leap?
It does. But here's a great thing about fear. Again, we can use the pain and the pleasure of fear, right? So fear has a level in our life. So I always liken it to this. Imagine a ladder with 10 steps on the ladder. We all have a preset fear level. So let's say right now my fear level is at a level 7, okay? And let's say I want to open up a new business and I'm really scared about maybe taking that initial step to open the business because my fear's at a level 7, so it's kind of high, right? Well, to overcome that, what we do is we need to readjust our fear level, which means that we need to do something more scary than a 7. Let me give you a great example. You ever gone skydiving?
No.
You ever jumped out of a plane? Ever jumped out of an ordinary plane?
No.
When you think to yourself, what on earth am I doing?
Okay.
I have. I can tell you, it is one of the scariest things I've ever done in my life. But when you land on that floor, you've reset your fear level to a level 10. Now, what was scary at a 7 is a piece of cake to do. So it's resetting that fear level. You ever walked on fire?
Yeah.
How awesome did you feel at the end of it?
Great.
Right. So
well,
when
I
you
walked on hot coals, not fire.
Right. But at the end of it, what used to scare you before, you thought, well, that's a piece of cake, and I just walked on fire.
That's true.
Because you reset your level of fear. So
fear.
fear.
Take another kind of fear and go a step further, and then maybe that can help you put things in perspective. That's what you're saying.
Okay, yeah, you've got to move forward. You know, at the end of the day, look, we're like flowers. If we stop growing, we start dying. It is important that we continually move forward. It is important that we use every single thing in our lives to keep us from moving forward. But remember that we've got like this bag of tools that we can dip into and say, you know what? I'm scared about doing this. I'm gonna go jump out of an airplane, or I'm gonna go and approach a woman that I thought, oh, I'm not gonna go approach her in case she shoots me down. Because it works in all areas of our life.
Aaron, thank you, Ian, thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time here. We're gonna be right back with more on Daily Flash TV.